How do? First vlog as a 60-year-old. Thanks for the kind comments and well wishes. Real Porridge with Samworth. Welcome to new subscribers. Channel's all about criminal justice, mental health, out vlogging with my dog Stephen, and interviewing people. Not everyone I interview, necessarily has been to prison or whatever, but they have stories to tell. Thanks to everyone who supported me on Patreon, everyone who's bought me a brew, and everyone who has supported the channel. IPP Sentence. So somebody sent me an article about a young lad who's no longer here. I think he was 28. It was called Ryan Jewell. The inquest started a couple of days ago on his death in prison. He was found dead in his cell. He had written the word free on his tummy in biro. He was an IPP prisoner, indeterminate public protection. If you want to look up that sentence, IPP sentence, on Google, the word that stands out is significant. Significant risk to the public. That's what this sentence was for. Sex offenders and people who commit acts of terror and the like. Significant risk. What it was used for by judges who abused their power was sentences as low as 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 2 years. It's about risk management. Yeah. There is people who, and many of these people firstly have not left prison. I knew one lad, Craig Bell. I got to know him over a 3-month period on the healthcare. He was asked to be put on an unlock protocol himself. Unlock protocol means a certain number of officers to get him out, and he's not out with anyone else. We would put him on exercise pretty much every day if we could. Shower, the usual things. He didn't want association. The healthcare used to have a mixed population, including some unsavoury characters. Craig came to the healthcare, said he was going to kill himself. We had some deep conversations. I got a sense of impending doom and gloom from himself. He hadn't had the best childhood like a lot of people I've met. Yeah, we do have choices. However, sometimes they're not the same choices. He could see no light at the end of the tunnel with his sentence. He didn't consider he would have any sort of life when he got out. The thing about being on the healthcare, once you are on there, those people are at risk of harm, not physically unwell, mentally unwell, or, on an ACT document, assessment, care in custody and teamwork, the suicide and self-harm document, you had to be fitted to move off. If you said you were going to kill yourself, you come to healthcare, you couldn't say I'm fine now and move off. The psychiatrist had to fit you. Craig said what he needed to say to the healthcare professionals. I documented our conversations. I put them on security information reports. I put them on CNOMIS, which was the prison service shite computer system that somebody sold the prison service for an extortion amount of money, and it was shite from day one. However, my point is the conversations were all documented. I did fear for this lad's safety. I did know he would kill himself. One of my colleagues also, she had a lot of conversations with him. Anyway, he got fitted to move off. Quite sadly, people who are down, depressed or whatever, they show the same traits. So he was quite euphoric at moving off. The staff reported on C-Wing. I remember the C-Wing senior officer come in to pick him up. She says, we'll look after him. I expressed my concerns. My colleague expressed concerns that, he was going to kill himself. He was quite euphoric for a couple of weeks. And then he killed himself. I think he'd left the healthcare about a month and he killed himself. It was shocking. The nursing staff were quite sad. We knew it was going to happen. Nothing. You can't save everyone's lives. Yeah. That sort of debunks the old myth, doesn't it? Them that's going to do something don't tell you. Very, very sad state. There's a lot of other lads I've met, IPP prisoners. I interviewed one not so long ago. He's back inside. Probation sent him back inside because he used heroin. Yeah, terms and conditions. He used drugs. At the time, he told me he'd told probation he'd used drugs just the once. 35-year habit, heroin addict. Used drugs once, told probation. I said, do you think that's a good idea? Yes, I trust my probation officer. Now, I've been informed by Jewell, the probation officer, that if someone thinks somebody should be breached and go back to prison, then there is a ladder, you know, managers and the like, and paperwork has to be done in order for them to go back to prison. For me, you know, sending Keith back to prison was just criminal in itself. He could be there for 2 years, not necessarily going to get a parole hearing. He's another lad. He's already served well over his time for the crime he committed. There's another lad, Pepsi Watson. Somebody emailed me and asked me to do a vlog about Pepsi Watson. So if you go over to Sean Atwood's channel, yeah, Pepsi Watson was on his channel. I watched the interview. Again, not the best childhood. A bit of a cheeky chap. He was an IPP prisoner on an IPP sentence. He came out of prison. He started a YouTube channel. I remember watching him on YouTube, and I thought to myself, the lad's going to end up back in prison. Not for doing anything wrong, free speech and that. He was anti-establishment, nothing wrong with that. You know, he was saying it how it is, like I do. And then next thing I know, because I knew a few people who knew him, I sent him my first book, Strangeways of Prison Officers, signed copy, you know, that he got locked back up. And when you go back inside, shocking, absolutely shocking. The lad who killed himself, probation, he basically killed himself because he couldn't get a Cat D, yeah, open prison. He was a model prisoner, this lad. Probation had recommended he get a Category D, that is open prison. To those of you who are new to the channel, it is what it is. Open prison, you can actually go to work, leave the prison every day. You get town visits initially, that's the thing, a trust. You get money to go into town, and then eventually that will lead to family visits. You know, it gives people hope and a bit of purpose. This lad was knocked back by the parole board. Why, you know, a parole board's not working with probation? It's all about this IPP sentence. It's absolutely fucking criminal. It is a death sentence. You know, there's lads and lasses that have done 15 years on what should have been 18 months. The last I read, there is people challenging this. There's a few barristers on board. There's some families who still have loved ones inside. There's some families who have lost loved ones. They were looking at re-sentencing these prisoners. Now, I don't know how that's going to work. You know, somebody now has been in 15 years. If they should have got under the normal sentencing type scenarios, 18 months, 2 years, and they've done 15, are they going to release them on a short license? How's it going to work? The percentage of people who've killed themselves on this sentence compared to the percentage of people who take their own life in prison is horrendous. Out of everything I've come across in the criminal justice system, it's one of the harshest. It's just uncivilized, and it was abused by judges. It is a death sentence for a lot of people. I can see why people take their own lives. It's grim even thinking about it. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Hopefully I'll get around to answering comments again and now. Get out doing the interviews, and yeah, thanks for your continued support. I'll say that tomorrow, I promise, I'll be out with Stephen. I'll do a vlog with Stephen. Cheers. I'll see you.